Well, good morning, class. Today I'm going to give you a brief overview on tips for identifying independent and dependent variables. I'm hoping that this will help you to better understand the hypothesis or the topic that you've selected to work with this semester in regards to the survey that you are going to create. Let's talk about hypothesis for a brief moment. Hypothesis in this case for you, here's an example. If you suggest that wealthy people are more conservative than poor people, and that the Republican Party is more conservative than the Democratic Party, you could hypothesize that wealthy people are more likely to vote Republican than poor people. And hypothesis testing throughout the collection and analysis of empirical data is one component of your research. Now, here are the instructions. You need to think about your hypothesis. And what I want you to do is fill in the two blanks and identify your independent and dependent variable. Oh, and don't forget your control variable. Then you need to post your response in Blackboard for grading. Now remember, and this will come up later, but you need to make a note of it. When you're running your SPS crosstabs, the independent variable is the column and the dependent variable is the row variable. Okay, let's keep going. Your hypothesis. I want you to restate your hypothesis as the following. And I've made it very simple for you. You need to be able to fill in the two blanks, identify your independent and dependent variable, and of course your control variable. What are you controlling for? If you're not clear on what an independent or dependent variable is, please go back and watch the other videos that talk about independent and dependent variables and control variables. So all you really need to do is you're going to fill in the blanks. Whatever your topic is, you're just going to insert what you feel, what you think to be the independent variable and what you think has an effect on or is going to be your control variable. Oh, and you're going to also include a causal word or phrase as well. Something that ties the two together. And if you look in your textbook, you have a list of causal words and phrases, and you should have done them with your flashcard assignment. Once again, don't forget your control variable. Now, I want you to restate your hypothesis as the following. Or actually, here's an example. If you're female, the independent variable in this case would be gender. Then you're more likely to be religious. And in this case, the dependent variable is religiosity. And we're going to control for race. So we would look at differences among race. The independent variable will always influence the dependent variable. And you need to ask yourself, for example, can religiosity influence gender? The answer is no. Can gender influence religiosity? Maybe. Another way of looking at it is, or testing it, your hypothesis, the independent variable is the one that comes first in time before the dependent variable. So in this case, which comes first, gender or religiosity? Since gender is determined before religiosity, you know that gender is the independent variable. Now, it's that simple. Now what I'd like you to do is make sure that you submit for grading. And as you can see, we have written out here, you do not need to underline anything. You're just going to use parentheses. And in those parentheses, you need to identify your independent variable, which in this case, for this example, would be gender, and your dependent variable, which is religiosity. And in actuality, for this particular sentence, your causal word or phrase would be more likely in this particular situation, and race would be the control variable. So that's all there is to it. It's really, really simple. If you got confused, go back, rewind this video, and or watch the other two videos that talk about independent, dependent, and control variables. And as always, if you need help, just be sure to ask. Thanks for watching and have a great day.